Let's get into the Q&A because the Q&A is the funnest, very, very best part from my perspective because we get to hear from everybody and Chloe gets to go a little bit deeper into some of this amazing content. So with that said, I hope you all understand the new way of doing Q&A. Listen, just hit that QR code that you see right there and you can just put in any questions, any comments you would like. And Brian, I'm going to start actually with this first one from Mark from Miami, just down the street from me, actually. He says, Chloe, I want to start using more video, but I feel super awkward on camera. Any tips on how to look and sound more natural, more comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really happy that you asked that question actually, because I get it. It's talking to a camera is like, this is so odd. This feels weird. Number one tip is try to get in the mindset that you're talking to a friend or a client and that you're just having a conversation and not that you're trying to perfectly present something. Because when you go into that perfect presentation mode, you get kind of like, you can feel how tense you are. Um, so my honestly, I just talk from the heart. I talk from the heart and then I go back in and edit later and cut out what doesn't need to be said. We are all human beings. I mess up on my words every 2 seconds, as I probably did in this presentation a handful of times. And so if you're filming, talk from the heart, and something doesn't come out the way you want it to, pause, and then just keep talking. And then that's where the editing magic comes in later. My other tip is I get asked all the time is, okay, can I use a teleprompter? Can I put notes behind my camera? And in my honest opinion, I don't recommend it because when you're doing that, you can see your eyes looking in different directions. Or if you're reading a teleprompter, you kind of look like you're just reading something a little bit robotically. And that's what gives a sense of it not being authentic and natural. So what I will do is when I have my filming days, and I will pre-batch film probably 6 to 8 videos if I can in a couple hours, so I don't have to deal with it later on in the month. I will write out what I want my video to be on a notepad or my note section of my phone, bullet point out maybe my 2 or 3 main points that I want to hit. I look at it and then I look at my camera and just talk from the heart. And I find that's what's kind of allowed me to come across more natural. It's going to take practice too, like your first video is probably gonna be a little rocky, and that's okay. That's part of the process. My videos from 5 or 6 years ago are really freaking embarrassing. That's all I'm going to say. So it's just all part of the process. And if someone's going to judge you for how you look, how you sound, how your video is, then that person's probably not meant to be your client anyways.
Great insight. And I think you hit the head of the nail, which is it just takes practice, right? You just got to do it over and over again, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get, the more natural it will seem. If you only do something once a month, you're probably not going to be very good at it. Tell us more, Chloe, about you said filming day, because I think some people feel like they almost need to kind of get in the zone, and you got to be dressed right, and you got to get the
Yeah.
lighting and all the equipment you mentioned.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I know for me, getting ready to film and setting up my camera equipment, it's a lot, and I have other things to do. And if the idea of doing that multiple times a week, it's just never going to happen. I'm just going to be realistic. Like you're going to push it off to another day. So I will set a set day where I'm like, okay, I'm blocking out 2 to 3 hours. The more practice that you guys have with this, the faster that you will be. And I will just get all done up the way that I want to for camera. And then I just spend a few hours filming multiple videos. All my equipment's ready to go there in that moment. I'll switch out my shirt maybe like every video or two, just so it doesn't look like I'm wearing the same thing all the time. And I was just going to say too, something that comes to mind is about being natural and authentic. Film in private. I mean, some of you might not care. I know for me, I'm a human being, and someone walks in on me filming, I get so like, I wasn't doing that. I feel guilty. I don't know why, but I get uncomfortable and weird. I'm like, oh, I don't want you to look at me filming. That's just that's uncomfortable. And then you get all tensed up. So film in a private space where you can just be yourself and choke on your words every 2 seconds if you need to. And then batch film so that you have content ready to go for the month, so that you can actually spend your time and energy prospecting and actual transaction management as well.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to bounce over to well, first of all, Maura, thank you very much for your feedback. I always appreciate that. Always love hearing from you. Um, Todd in Cincinnati asked, "What is your go-to editing tool?" I think you mentioned um, Cap CapCut. Is that what
CapCut,
you mentioned
yes.
earlier? Yeah.
CapCut,
Tell us maybe
C-A,
more about that. I think people get nervous about like I'm not a tech
yeah.
engineer. Like, can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely. So CapCut, CAPCUT. And honestly, if that's too much of a jump, just use the editing app built into Instagram Reels. That is honestly, it gets the job done. Half the time I actually use Instagram Reels, the editing section, just because it's convenient. Um,
Okay.
I will say again, and you're going to get tired of hearing it, but practice makes perfect. The first time I ever learned how to edit a video, that was a painful process because, like you, I'm like, I don't know, how do I splice a clip and add audio and add captions? Like, my head's going to fall off. And now I can do it with my eyes closed, probably not with my eyes closed, but I can do it very quickly. Um, Something that I will challenge you to do, let's is actually this is a homework assignment I'll give everyone. Film a fake property tour of your own home. You don't have to post it, but just go through the motions of filming your home and then upload it to CapCut or upload it to Instagram Reels. And I just want you to literally click on every single button that you see. That is the only way you're going to learn on how what does what. And then go through the practice of putting that video together of your home tour, and then that I think will be a great learning lesson. And guys, Google has the answer, honestly. Like if you find yourself asking like how do I do this on whatever app that you're using, just Google it. I've done that plenty of times. I hate to say it, but really Google does have the answer to most of our questions.
It's so true, isn't it? All right, let's go to Diana in Lubbock. Diana says, "Can you talk about geofencing and give a quick how-to for beginners? Do you do any geofencing types? It's kind of off topic, but it's technology based, and you're good at that kind
You
of
know,
stuff."
truthfully, I don't. I will just say that what you want to do is every time that you upload a post, make sure that you're putting in your location. So I always put in Los Angeles as an example because you want that content to be hyper specific to your market. I find that with social media boosting when it comes to real estate content, you can't be very specific with geography because there's a lot of laws and like fair housing laws that kind of go into play. And then if you don't follow those rules, your account could get shut down. So I kind of lean into just more organic content, and I always just tag my city or my area in that video that I use.
Yeah. And I think, when geofencing first came out, to your point, you could get really targeted. Like you could go around a house or around a location, but that's all gone now because of fair housing rules. You can't be that specific. So I think that's a really good call out. Um, looks Jillian from Atlanta. Jillian looks like she's new in the business. Thanks for joining us today. She says, if I'm new to the business and not currently active on social media, how do I start posting? I understand I need to start from a clean slate, but what should be my first post on social and where do I go from there? And I'm going to add this to her question. Um, do I start with my profile or do I get a page? Do I start with a personal Instagram account or do I start with a professional Instagram account?
Okay, hold on. You're throwing a lot at me. Okay,
A
so
lot, I know.
um, I would always have a business account and going to should I start a new page or should I just convert my personal page? It's really personal preference. I don't think going one way or the other is going to make or break your social media presence. For me personally, I have a personal life that at 26, I probably wouldn't want to share with the whole entire world. And so I have a very private account that only my friends see. And then I have my business page. So I would say having a business like Facebook page is important. Having a business Instagram is important. And then what I do is if I want to remind people on my personal side that I am in business, and I'll occasionally share a post from my business profile over to my personal. And that's a great way to kind of incorporate the two. For your first post ever, I personally would do a headshot or a lifestyle shot and do a about me. Welcome to my page. My name is
Mm,
X, and then doing a few bullet points. And actually, if you guys go to my Instagram page at dreamliving.la, you'll see that I did that and I have it pinned to my profile so that no matter what I post, that is always the number one thing that people are going to see. And it sets the
good
tone for my
advice.
page. And so people know exactly who I am. And I have some few fun facts in there, more some personal, some business, just so people know who I am. So I would say that. And if you're brand new, just it's an announcement. Don't be shy. Let people know that you're in real estate now. And then from there, just honestly, just dive head into everything that we've talked about today: educational content, video tours. I think people very quickly are going to forget that you're new if they're seeing that over and over and over again.
There are a bazillion questions. I'm just warning you right now. We got 3 minutes left. We're never going to make it, but there are 4 or 5 of them, Chloe, that ask about AI. Ask about, do you use AI to integrate into your videos and your social posts? And do you ever do entirely AI? Just a lot of AI. Do you just want to do a little bit of info on AI and social and video?
Okay. AI and social, that's such a vague state or
Yeah,
question.
I'm sorry.
Um, because I know I was just talking to someone, they're like, oh, you could do AI where like you're not even in front of the camera. You take one video and it'll manipulate your face and words and all that. Um, I would say truthfully, the only time I really use AI is if I need help kind of scoping out a video idea, or if I need help with like a description, then I'll use that to clean up. But I always have my own words set and ready to go, because if I feel like if you lean too much into AI, you're going to lose your authenticity and your own voice. And that's important when it comes to social media. So I do use AI to support pre-existing ideas, but I don't let it dominate how I run things on the social media side.
Makes totally good sense. Lee from Petaluma, Northern California, says, "Do you ever get negative comments, and how do you handle them?"
Yes. I've seen quite the comment section over the last few years. Honestly, it just don't even think about it. And obviously that comes, it's hard because you want to take things personally, but we have to remind ourselves that first of all, half of these people will probably never even say it to your face because they're so chicken, like it's the fact that they're hiding behind a screen. And they're probably jealous of you. Honestly, I find that's what I tell myself most of the time. Um, People are always going to have an opinion. Just stay true to yourself and stay consistent with that. And the reality is, those people, you don't want to work with them anyways. So block them, delete their comments. I've definitely deleted comments before if I don't like what they're saying, and so be it. So yeah, it's all mindset.
It's hard. It's just hard, and your advice is so good, and you just have to rise above it, right? You just got to move forward. I'm going to ask one last question here. There are a bit, but Miracel says, "Hi, Chloe. So happy you're with us today. Are you using lights today? If so, which? I'm curious which type of networking events you would recommend the most. Do you respond to comments in DMs? If so, strategy on responding and checking." Thank you so much, and congratulations and continued success. That's very nice.
Okay,
It was a
thank you.
lot there. Sorry,
I think
I can remind you if you
I think that
take
was
a
three
piece of
different
it.
questions. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
using lights. I have this little guy here that just clips onto my Mac, and then I actually have a softbox light, which I actually don't mind showing you, um, right here. And that's exactly the one that I have linked on Amazon for you guys to use. I use that for all of my filming. Um, Second question. What was the second question?
Second question was, how do you respond back your DMs? How do you manage communication in social media?
Um, Truthfully, I'm not perfect. I'm human. You just have to set little reminders to go and check your request section and make sure that you're not missing anything. If you're already on the app posting, that's probably a good time to just check and make sure that you're not missing any communication. So yeah, just set little reminders.
Oh, excellent. Well, listen, it is a wrap on another powerful session of Leaders Weekly. Chloe, thank you so much for sharing your
You're
insights, your
welcome.
strategies, your experiences. It's always incredible to learn from your expertise. So thank you. Thank you for that.